Hey everybody, it's day 31. On the Shuffleboard project, we're building the startup live. So here's what's up for today. Last time we prepped for our beta launch. We're gonna share some of this project on Hacker News, and today we're gonna take that and we're gonna put it on Hacker News for our early beta launch. I got a couple things I wanna talk about before we do that. One, I wanna talk about what a launch is. And before I do that, I just wanna share where I'm at with my excitement level on the beta launch, which is it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't like this part. I think I've talked about this before. You know, I've done enough product launches and things to know that they're not always a big hit. Sometimes they go really well, it's awesome. Sometimes they just don't go anywhere. And it's embarrassing. And generally speaking, like the process of learning how to build a product is that you try something, you release it to some people, you see if it works well, you take the lessons learned, you go back, and so you go through this cycle, right? That's what we're trying to do. And that means that you're releasing things that are often gonna not really work, so you go back and fix them. But in this case, I got this video series where I'm, sort of showing this entire process, and so I don't want it to be a waste. I want people to like it and enjoy it, and if I get 0 upvotes on Hacker News, it'll be sad. I'll be a little bit bummed. It's a vulnerable thing to be sharing your work with folks and kind of putting it up there for people to accept or reject. The good thing and bad thing about these launches and like spikes on Hacker News and Reddit and stuff is that if it goes really well, it'll usually go right back down to 0 traffic-wise. And even if it doesn't go really well, you can still build from there. So it's kind of like this nice splash of attention if it does work. If anybody pays attention to it, it's nice you get to talk to a few people, but generally speaking, like, they don't matter that much. Anyway, I'm not that excited about this. I've been thinking about launching this video series and like sort of sharing it more widely for a while. I put it on my website recently, but it's just a vulnerable place to be, sharing all this stuff. I just don't want it to be a waste. So in full transparency, I'm just kind of dragging myself through this a little bit. I don't find even mini launches to be fun. So let's talk about a launch. Like, what is a launch? Is this a launch? Generally, people think of a launch as that thing where you take the software you've been working on, you put it out into the world, you let people download it and use it, and you tell everybody that it's available. But I don't like thinking of launches that way for a couple of reasons. One, you're confusing launching and shipping, I think, when you talk about things that way. Like shipping software, putting it out into the world is letting people sort of have some access to it, right? But if you launch at the same time that you ship, basically you're launching and trying to drum up attention and sharing something that you've just released. So you don't have any idea if it's any good yet. You actually haven't tested that thing. So I think the way I think about it is I like to just kind of ship every day. Every time I'm working on something, we're always shipping. We're always incrementally pushing new features out, getting them out there. Launching is a thing that we do to sort of tell the world that we're doing something. But it doesn't necessarily mean also that we're letting them go in and use the product immediately. So in a real launch, you probably would, eventually you might say, hey, we're opening this up to everybody. This is our launch. That would make sense. But I don't think that makes sense for me to do right now because I don't actually have much evidence or any evidence really besides a couple interviews with people that this product is like useful and working well. Like I don't even know if it's functional. We've never tested it. So it would not make sense at this point to like launch it to the world and just let everybody jump on it and use it because their experience would probably be that it's kind of crappy. Because it is kind of crappy, it's still early days. So instead of a big launch, what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep our beta test status, which is, you saw that's got set up before in preparation for this. Basically, you can sign up for the product in these early days. You can see a video about how it works, which we made last time. You can read a little bit about what it is. You can watch this video series and you can sign up, but you don't actually have access to the full product yet. You're kind of on a wait list. And this is good because it means that anybody who signs up, like, wouldn't have a bad experience. That's really important. Like, we can't be letting people use this and have a bad experience. If we're gonna let them have access, they have to have a good experience. We get a little bit of control over how we slowly release it to people. So my plan after this is to start scheduling a couple sessions, and doing a couple more user tests, more discovery sessions, try to get somebody to use this live in a product meeting for real. And then learn from that and improve it until we're really confident that this thing is really good and useful. And then we launch. And if we don't get to the point where this thing is really hitting a stride and useful for a market, then maybe we never launch because, you know, we don't have any confidence that this thing is going to work. So launching is not the part where you ship the software live. That happens way before the launch. Launch is not the part where you let people just go in and use the product, although one of the launches is. That's a second launch or a go live, or this is just basically a way to share that I'm working on this project and that it's coming soon. And that's all this launch is. So there's not a ton of software, and it's not one big thing. Like I've heard people say that you want to have multiple launches. So this is just a sort of the first mini sharing of what's going on. You know, honestly, I wasn't even thinking of using this video as part of the series because I really had just thought of it as the moment where I share the video series with people. But I think it is relevant because I want to make sure I get some visibility into like what's happening with this project for people who are, you know, playing with other ideas of marketing. Like if anybody uses this, one of the likely channels that they'll find it is the video series. So in that sense, it's kind of part of the marketing plan for the product. So I'm just going to call this the beta launch. It's private beta launch. You don't actually, nobody can get access. You can join the waiting list. It wouldn't even really necessarily be worthy of calling it a launch of the product. You could think of it as a launch of a YouTube series. But again, I wanted to err on the side of being inclusive and transparent and showing this process and showing everything that I was doing for the most part, even when I'm sharing what's going on. Because that's part of a startup. You know, one of the things I've been thinking about is startup versus startup product. Like, is this just building a product or is it building a startup? And I think a lot of it is very product focused because that's how we're determining whether this could be something bigger than just a single product. But there are aspects to this process that are not just product, and this is one of them. You know, this is not just building a product. This is figuring out how to talk about your product and actually doing the work to get it out into the world. Okay, so without further ado, let's see where we're at. Share videos on all these places. One that I know I need to do is actually share on LinkedIn. I think I'm going to do. Just because it's useful to share this kind. I think this is relevant for LinkedIn. I'm going to also email a few people the links. So when this is done, I'm just going to send the HN links and stuff to a couple friends. Wait, did I say Maiden A2 on here at all? There's an Ann Arbor like Slack channel of people I know from this organization we made for Ann Arbor Tech. So I'm gonna share on Maiden A2 also. I think in roughly this order. Let's see what I wrote. This is a little confusing. So actually, when I put up these videos, I made a playlist description that I think is actually a little bit more refined. I can just maybe edit, copy some stuff out of here. Those to get in the way of the main thing. Yeah, I already had some done here. You know what? I also put this on my website. So why don't I just take the copy I wrote there and steal some of that? Maybe this will just be straight better. So this is the website version. This is the Hacker News version. Or at least what I plan to put on Hacker News. I like this part. What do I call this version? Building a startup on YouTube. That's not clear. I mean, it's clear enough, but not for the HN post. What if I did this? Show HN. No. Putting the entire process on YouTube, recording every minute. Recording the entire process on YouTube. Showing the entire thing on YouTube. Okay, I have to figure that out. This is redundant now. I like the bullet list for this format. So this stuff, you know, that's what I'm kind of getting at up here. How do I get my word wrap back? So these are like the mechanics, right? That's redundant because we've got this here. Sometimes my lights go off automatically. I think ing this tense is better. Because it shows that it's in progress. Okay. Oops. That's redundant now. Oh, okay. This is working out. All right, these are doing the same job. Do we need both of them? It's really these two that are doing the same job. I like that second one better. It's a little cheesy. It's obvious. Why are we saying so far? That doesn't mean anything. Having been part of a fast-growing YC startup, I want to show what early days of making products actually like. So I built a startup product myself. So I'm building. Come on, guys. I'm building a startup product myself and filming the entire process. Literally every minute I spend working on a startup, recording, uploading. I have grapes, by the way. Each video is a couple hours long, shows my face and space at work. I want these to be short. Prove? Who are we trying to prove? I also want to show that someone with engineering design skills doesn't need a co-founder or I'm using the new one. Website. All right. What am I trying to do here? I'm just trying to make it so that also fits. This may be pulling up here. I already said this. Is this relevant? Having been part of a fast-growing YC startup? I think it is. Okay, then we gotta pick the title for it. How would I say this to a human being? If I was talking to a human, like, what are you working on? Like, oh, I'm making a startup and I'm recording the whole thing on YouTube. And I'm showing the whole process on the entire process on YouTube. What are you doing? I'm making a startup and I'm recording literally the whole thing on YouTube, in like literally every minute on YouTube. I'm making a startup, building a startup, and showing the entire process. I think that's the one. Is it like showing is like weird. I think that's good. I think that's good. I think we're gonna call it. I'll make a new comment just in case we want the old one. How does that read? Not total, so far. Keep it simple. Sam. All right, guys, we got that. Is this ready to go? We need subreddits. Startup. Startups and stuff. Okay. Entrepreneur, not investing, business hub. No. Yes. No. I think those are relevant. Entrepreneurs and startups. Startups, entrepreneurs or entrepreneur. Swift recruiting hell, rails roaming. Ooh, Firebase would be good. Is there a subreddit for Firebase? Design, maybe? This is not my scene. Yeah, I should post on these. All right, entrepreneur or entrepreneurs? 11,000, 609,000. Okay. Sounds like it's entrepreneur. Yeah. Okay. So these are our subreddits. We're gonna post here. 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 And here. You gotta do better than that. Let's get the freaked out face, because that's this emoji. Where is it? This guy? That's how I feel. And LinkedIn, I guess I'll have to be a little bit more. We're just gonna use the HN one for indie hackers. Maybe say like, I don't want to say to Hacker News that I love that community, even though I kind of do because I found a job on there before and other stuff, but I think Indie Hacker is just a cool place. I'll adjust it when I go. LinkedIn. Working on a little experiment. I think sometimes people, when they're doing something that's kind of cool, they don't want to like hype it up, so they just say, oh, little old me working on a little experiment, and my temptation is to do that. But I want to be more enthusiastic. What did I say on Twitter? There we go. We'll just use that without the emoji because it's a professional network. Hey, y'all. And then let's do except not stage. And then HN post goes here. What am I going to say when I email people this? I'm going to email this to a few people who I told I would tell them, who I said I would share the launch with when it went live. So, hey, this is as simple as like, hey, here's the launch links as promised. And the emotion I feel, again, is a grimace and a finger crossed. And then just paste a bunch of links in here. Okay, pretty ready to go. You know what, one thing I also needed to do was I happened to be on my Google Analytics recently and noticed that when I was checking my existing website, because I changed my domain name, that Shuffleboard had critically low live views. In fact, it has absolutely none. We set it up, and it doesn't seem to be working. Not that there should be many here, because I haven't told anybody about it, but I've gone to it a couple times just to check it, so that should mean that there are some views here. What is all that? Get out of here. Google Analytics is so crusty. So let's see, shuffleboard all data. There are hits coming in on shuffleboard all data, which means that this filter is the issue, hopefully, but I believe it is. Comma instead of a period. That would have done it. Okay, let's try this one more time. Fixing that. No users on. But what if I go to getshuffleboard.com? Should say 1. In Michigan. There I am. Okay, good. Google Analytics is working. All right, guys, I'm gonna share this soon, but I'm gonna take a quick break first and get ready to go. See you in a minute. Hey y'all, we're back. Let's get this thing out the door. So, Hacker News, yada yada. All right, before I do that, I just want to reiterate. I want to reiterate to you all how unenthused I am about sharing this project on Hacker News and on Reddit and then other places. Not enthusiastic, not enjoying it. I don't want to do it. I want to just, I'm on school, I just want to walk, I want to like get away. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal. I don't want to share. I don't want to put myself up for criticism. And I don't want it to get 0 upvotes. No, we're gonna do it anyway, because it's gotta happen. So let's just do it. All right, Reddit, subreddits. Indie hackers, that's an important one. I logged into these. I gotta log in, you guys. Okay, submit. Create post. Create post. Create post. Create post. Log in. With Google. I think I've got a different Indie Hackers account in my personal. Thing. Whoop. Sam PL. XAMPL. Okay, no. It's the same. Okay, I'll just post with this one. Milestones. Do I have to create a product here? All right. Wait for your page to be approved. Well, you know what? Do I need to worry about this right now? No. Let's do this later. All right, so we're going to share a normal Indie Hackers post, not a product update thing. Okay. Well, where is our copy? I'm gonna take this one. All right, that one's good. Is it spammy to have a mailing list on here? That's in the YouTube videos. I'd rather just tell them how to follow me and call it good. I mean, I want them to go to the site, but I just think this is important to feel like, you know, a human talking to a human. Ooh. So I might not even be able to post this here. We'll find out. Well, I probably won't be able to do this. But I'll at least be able to put it in startups. Save that for the end. Just wanted to share. Keep trying to do that. Put that up once it goes on HN. Okay. this one. My light. All right, anything else I need to do before I launch this thing? I don't think so. So at this point, what I do is I've been telling myself for the past few minutes that I'm just gonna get these things in here, and then I have to just like have a moment, calm before I hit the button. I was listening to Dr. Dre before I started this video again because I find that that's the inspirational energy that's useful for this kind of thing. All right, guys, done. Boom! Ah! Okay. Oh, that didn't work. All right, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna delete this because we need to make the link very linkable. So what I'm gonna do actually is do this and make the URL my playlist. Okay, discuss, and maybe paste this as a comment. All right, I'm going to send this to a couple people in a minute, but I guess I need my phone to do that, and I'm recording this on my phone, so I'll wait till I just get these other pieces posted real quick. Going down the line. Okay, that worked. I think that worked. You were doing too much. Try again in 9 minutes. Shit. I should have done the startup one first. That's okay. Let's open up Slack and go into that channel I mentioned. Let's get this out there. So this is going to be a group of some people I know in town that I just want to share this with. How long ago was it that it was supposed to be 9 minutes? So a little timer. Just gotta wait for that one. Can I jump into messages and send out a question? Probably. Okay, guys, it's posted. It's kind of out of our hands at this point. I'm gonna send a couple links to some folks. Oh, I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta do LinkedIn and Twitter. Start a post. Nope. Nope. Actually, let's use my real one for that, huh? How do I get this YouTube playlist to show up? All right, and the Twitter. I'm not really a social media guy, so I don't really have a lot of these things going on. It's all good. Hey, that's done. Sure, made an it too. That's done. Email a few people the links. Work on that. Share videos and any hackers. Done. Twitter. Here's a little. I'll keep doing that. Okay. Done on Twitter. Reddit. Give it a few more minutes. Done on HN. Share videos or Reddit. Okay, so that one's done. This one needs to go. need this. Put this at the beginning, just in case we need it again. No, we don't need it. Let's try Reddit again. One minute. Damn it. I keep hitting the button. Well, Ali said, I can't wait to watch and listen. Thanks for sharing the series. That's nice for her to say. Oh my god. This thing is really not going to let me post this. How do I do HN formatting? Because it's kind of screwing up my formatting. Two spaces in, huh? Damn. It didn't work. Man, this formatting is kind of a pain in the ass. There we go. I guess I already link into that, so it's not a big deal. Alright, that's good. Show you how. Hey, look, 5 points. Nice. I didn't get 0 points. Let's try Reddit again. Cool. Well, the Firebase one isn't working, but that's okay. We got the startup one up now. All right, guys, we're calling it a success. I'm gonna email a few people, take a quick break, get a bite to eat. We'll check in and see if anything's happened in a little bit. if we get any more upvotes, and then we're gonna go and look at this backlog because we got some good stuff to do. We got purchases, we got all kinds of other stuff. I'm feeling a little bit like exposed. I feel like somebody just found my diary. But it's all good. I think it was cause for celebration, actually. I'm gonna go eat some food. All right, y'all, I'm back from lunch. I made myself a nice little scrambled eggs, tortilla, kale burnt to hell, nice little breakfast, lunch vibe, my favorite. It's a little late in the day for that. It's been about an hour, 45 minutes. I got a cup of tea, I took a walk around the block. I'm gonna check in and see if anything's happened. I've got any comments on these posts, and if I have, I'm gonna reply to them. And then it's back to the backlog. I have a couple ideas of things I wanna do. Maybe I should talk about those right now. One, I sent some links to some friends, and it was nice. I got some friends who said that it was a cool project, so that was really nice. I want to schedule, well, I already have that. Let's get some scheduling done. That'll be what I do next. Schedule session with David. There's somebody named David, a friend of mine who I think would be good to test this with. Got some others down there. Oh, and one of my friends mentioned when I texted them that I was missing a favicon. Do I have that on here already somewhere? Yeah, I'm gonna say better favicon because we need any favicon here. It's just noticeable, you know? All right. All right, this is ready. This is ready. Okay, so let's check on and see if we got any results here. Design, did anybody from design upvote it? No. Ooh, request for feedback. Yep, I'm not gonna get it posted there. Firebase, try to post that one more time. Hey, all right, posted in Firebase. Startups. Any upvotes in start? Hey, 14! Not bad. All right, a little bit of attention on Reddit. Looking forward to go to the playlist. Thanks. Let's reply because we're nice people. Interesting. Good enough. Nice. Thanks, guys. I don't know if it's worth it. Grimace. It's my emoji of the day. Oh, Reddit got a lot nicer, by the way. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put this person. I'm gonna upvote this person because it's honestly a good question. I'm gonna upvote everybody. How about that? Look, there's not like a whole, you know. Maybe that doesn't mean, you know, whatever. All right, cool. That's nice. Let's see. Entrepreneur. Wasn't this gonna get flagged? 0. Yep. George Hotz. What's going on? Live coding. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Indie hackers. Hey, 3 likes. Nice. Almost literally unwatchable. Cool. All right. Well, I'm saving Hacker News for last. Any notifications? Oh, a couple people like my post. That's nice. Reviews. Anything on Twitter? Oh, lots of people like my tweet. Got some followers. Hey, Dovetail followed me. Did this already? Let's see how HN's doing. It's kind of the moment of truth. 13. Not bad. Ouch. If learning how to secure a database took you almost a week, I'd respectfully suggest forgetting about YouTube and concentrate on learning the basics. Love it. Hacker News has always got a good one going for you. So what I want to say is, damn you salty Hacker News people, be nice. Where's your emotional intelligence? But I'm going to do the nicer thing, even though I'm doing this live on video. Nobody's going to watch this. I'm putting that, yeah. To get need to say anything else. Points. How many points do I got to get to be on the front page? Not 13. Okay. Maybe it was already on there because that one's got 12. Probably not. All right, y'all. Well, I was hoping that would be a little bit, I was kind of hoping to shoot for front page. That's what you always want in the Hacker News world, you know? But, not bad overall. I think it's still pretty good. I'm really impressed. It's fun. It's nice to get some thoughts from people on Reddit. It's kind of like a crapshoot. You never know. Ooh, George Holtz. Live coding slam. You never really know what the results of this kind of stuff are going to be. All right. So let's go back to our thing here. Ooh, favicon. I'm going to boot up my code editor. It's getting a little hot in here. So, oops. Refamiliarize myself with code. Responsive mobile styles. Fix absolute paths and create React app. Participants can see who else is in a meeting. Let's do a little bit of a backlog grooming. See where we're at. I definitely want to do this. Wish I could see the tags when they were open. Basic favicon. Let's do that. So, I don't think a favicon is really that important, to be honest with you. Sometimes, but I do see why people request it. So let's just make one real quick. 260. This is just the crappiest, quickest version of a favicon ever. In fact, you know what we should do? Should we make this based off the brand colors? No, I'm gonna just estimate it. S for shuffleboard. I'm gonna call this assets. I feel like calling things assets is a good way to like have like a no name for what you're building. Very vague, but eventually this is gonna be things like the embed image. I don't want to do it right now because I don't know the sizes, but like when you embed something in a web page, you kind of want to show what that is. So I'm gonna make favicon here. I'm going to save it and export it as PNG 260. Seems about right. What? Hold on, let me open this. What is the favicon supposed to be? Yep, that's what we need. ICO, icon essentially. Do I have a manifest showing other versions of it? Yeah. So let's make it 64 pixels. VCO here. Ah, shit. All right. Convert to favicon. There's got to be a better way of doing this. I've just Googled it every time I've ever had to do it. Oops. There has to be a better way to do this. I don't know what it is. Do I even need to use it? What does it say? For Windows 7, 8, Vista, and XP? I don't need that. Let's just use a PNG for now. I think it's good enough. Shuffleboard Max. Nice, look, favicon. Dope. Favicon. There's like a car crash outside. Hope they're okay. No, I think it's just a skid. All right, done. Basic favicon, mark complete. All right, guys, we have some scheduling to do. I think these basically these user tests, that we're calling them, just vaguely talking to people about this thing, is far and away the most important aspect of all this, because we've basically built the thing that we need to do, right? Like, it's basically done. I think the point of this is that, like, we're putting together a test, right, to see if it's useful to people. The test on, like, sharing it with the world, the video series, is different from the test of the product. Basically, the question here is, now that we have a product, does this thing fit some need that people have when they're running meetings in their life? Like, is this a useful thing? Chances are, this is the brutal part, this is why it's so tough to launch this kind of stuff. Chances are, it's not useful. Just like statistically saying, usually ideas aren't good. That's okay. Like, ideas are awesome. You get them, you're not sure they're from. It's easy to get excited about that kind of stuff. And you should, because, like, I think if you have enough ideas and you try them, you might end up finding something that's really good. We don't know yet if this is gonna match with customers. We don't know yet if people would buy this. We don't know if people would use this thing. I hope that they would, certainly. I still hope that they would, but I'm not sure We're gonna have to find out by having a few more conversations. And these conversations, now that we have a real thing, are gonna lean a little bit more towards salesiness. We gotta find out. It's just not gonna be, it's not gonna be clear. It's not gonna be clear unless we have a couple more tests. And then the question is this: if people use it and it's okay, and they don't come back to it, and they don't think about it next time they want to run a meeting, and they don't feel like it's way, way better than the way they've been doing it before, or if they do feel that, then we'll just keep investing a little bit more into it. We'll keep investing in it and trying to learn about that market until, you know, as long as things are going well. If it turns out that after this, it doesn't work out, that's all good, you know, like, that's okay. You're not supposed to, markets don't necessarily have to take things. I don't like this idea. I mean, one of the points of this series is to try to get people off this idea that there's like a genius behind everything, and that behind these tech companies, the survivorship bias, I think, is really strong out there. And so, like, there's a tendency to think, you always want to hope that something's going to do really well. I was actually thinking about this, checking the Hacker News stuff, and it's like, you hope you got some upvotes on Hacker News. It's kind of like going and checking to see if there's Christmas presents under the tree, but statistically knowing that most people never get any presents. So you're always hoping that there's people taking it, but I think the benefit of doing it this way is that if people don't take it, you haven't invested any money. You've invested some time, but not that much time. You haven't invested a lot of resources, and you're not wasting your time on something that doesn't make a lot of sense. So, I mean, I think that's the benefit of shipping early and often. I'll keep these Hacker News and Reddit posts going up for a little bit. We'll see if I get any more points. I'm going to see if I can't schedule some of these tests. I might do a little bit later today. I'm not sure. I have to actually check my calendar to see when I want to actually schedule these, because I have some other stuff I have to do. Overall, I would say I'm pretty happy with hitting the button. You just gotta hit the button and share your stuff with the world. And I definitely don't like doing it, but at least it's over.